So when I first heard about this, I was like, nah, it can't be real. It should be fake, right? But apparently it's real. This is Melania Trump. And they sent her to the UN. It says here, a historic day at the UN. FLOTUS, First Lady Melania Trump, opens the U.S. presidency of the Security Council. What? And this signifies to me that we're out of people. Because why are you sending Melania? Like, seriously, we're out of people. Either we don't have anyone left, right? Or everyone refused, perhaps, because they're just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay, fine, we'll send Melania. Like, Melania Trump at the Security Council representing the United States. Oh, and you got to adjust your hair. You got to adjust your hair. Isn't this a joke? It doesn't even feel real. It's so stupid. And if you don't believe me, because trust me, guys, I was right there with you. I was like, nah, this can't be real.
The provisional agenda for this meeting is maintenance of international peace and security, children, technology, and education in conflict. The agenda is adopted.
I don't even know what to say. It just doesn't feel real because it's so dumb. But this is where we're at right now, guys. And while that clown show is going on over at the UN, this is also the news today. 6 U.S. service members killed in action. This is just coming out just a few minutes ago. Fox News, they're going to show a picture of a missile launch and say 6 troops killed as major combat operations continue. And this is where we're at right now in the USA. We're sending Melania to the UN because I don't think we have anyone left and we're getting people killed. Then Marco Rubio saying the hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military. The next phase will be even more punishing on Iran than it is right now. The world is a safer place when we're done with this operation. That's according to Rubio. Let's attack. Great. And there's a meme here which basically, I'll just say this, guys. It represents a clown world that we're in. You know, at this point, we're just sending in eagles with guns to raise the American flag, right? Go USA. Put on the sunglasses. This is also another meme. I'm showing you guys memes because it just, like, how can I address this absurd world that we're in other than this? Rubio and Trump, they treat our soldiers that are getting killed like toy soldiers, basically, right? And they're sitting around in their diapers.
This is to destroy that missile capability. Why does Iran want that ballistic missile capability? What they are trying to do and have been trying to do for a very long time is build a conventional weapons capability as a shield where they can hide behind. Meaning, there would come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and it can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear program. That is what they were trying to do.
So what they're trying to make the case right now is we have to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, so they don't have a weapon. And we have to destroy their missiles before they can protect the developing of said weapon that they don't have, right? And basically, we're just following Netanyahu's talking points. I'll just be frank on you, Netanyahu's been saying this stuff for years. And here's another meme. We will fight Iran to the last American. I think that basically sums up where we're at right now. Or something like this, right? Portraying Trump as a puppet of you-know-who. Bomb Iran. Great. Then you have Trump tweeting out this kind of stuff at the White House. If I didn't terminate Obama's horrendous Iran nuclear deal, right? Iran would have nuclear weapons 3 years ago, whatever. The point is, though, is like they're talking about canceling deals. So whatever thing that you make with the USA, you can't trust it anyway. Because Trump's all about canceling deals. So for him, the art of a deal is cancel all deals, right? All bets it off with this guy. This is completely untrustworthy. You go and you look at what happening now is that we're evacuating embassies.
So breaking update from the U.S. Embassy, which just came in from Iman, posting moments ago in Jordan that out of an abundance of caution, all personnel at the U.S. Embassy have temporarily departed the embassy compound due to a threat This is not surprising. We see all of our embassies in the region getting into a protective posture as we watch the retaliation from Iran and we weigh all of the risks. They weigh all of the risks in the region. We'll be right back.
You can actually see here, out of abundance of caution, all personnel at the U.S. Embassy have temporarily departed the embassy compound due to a threat. I think we're struggling to protect our people, and I'm going to show you guys in a moment here where we're having problems with ammo in terms of defense. This is ugly. This whole thing is ugly, and you know it's bad. Again, when you're sending Melania to the UN because we're out of people.
How long? All right, I can only do one more. Right there in the middle. Yes, sir.
Is there a diplomatic exchange going on right now between the U.S. and Iran? Any exchanges whatsoever outside of
No, not at this time. I mean, look, we always have people that reach out from inside of governments. You don't know if they're authorized to reach out or not. They're suffering a tremendous amount of damage. Honestly, again, I'm not going to give away the details of our tactical efforts, but the hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military. The next phase will be even more punishing on Iran than it is right now. Someone was screaming, how long will it take? I don't know how long it'll take. We have objectives. We will do this as long as it takes to achieve those objectives, and we will achieve those objectives. The world will be a safer place when we're done with this operation. All right? Thank you, guys.
He tells you you're all going to be safe and then runs away. My personal opinion on this stuff is, first they were talking, oh, you know, this will be easy. You've been hearing this language. Now it's 3 to 4 weeks. Then it suddenly transforms to 4 to 5 weeks. Now we're talking about as long as it takes. They're dragging us into something that could be years. I want to make that really clear because we've seen this game before, be it with Vietnam, Iraq, etc. This is part of U.S. history. They just lie to you about how easy it's going to be. It's not going to be easy. It's clearly not. And like as I was saying before, like the beginning, like when you're sending Melania to the UN, you know it's bad. You're out of people. I also want you to hear a point of view of someone from the military, of what they have to say.
I've experienced this fighting in Iraq and later in Afghanistan when parents or spouses of some soldiers could not understand why their soldiers had been killed. Why they had sacrificed their life. They thought the war was wrong in many cases, and it's hard to explain to them that we as the military do the nation's bidding, and that people who tell us to go different places and attempt at our very best to win, sometimes it's the hardest load that a commander carries, is to see his or her soldiers sacrifice in the ultimate way and then have to explain it to the loved ones. You know, I've talked to you about the box that I have on my desk that I look at every day, and it's just painful sometimes. No, it's painful all the time. I had a discussion one time on my porch after I returned home with a father whose son had been killed in Iraq. And it was unfortunately a fratricide incident. And he was on my front porch for 3 hours telling me how it was wrong and we screwed up and we shouldn't have been there in the first place. And it was a terrible mission and, you know, so on and so on. It's tough from a commander's perspective to try and get past that. That's all I'll say. You know, when you're wearing the uniform, you do what you're told to legally do.
And this is where the problem is when you have a leadership with Trump and his people that just don't care about regular people at all. Like you're just cannon fodder to them, and it's sick. I want to make that clear. It's sick. And then I look over and I just want to show you guys everything, and because I don't want to ever preference American lives over other people's lives. A lot of lives are affected. Like I told you before, the number I'm seeing now from Iran is maybe 555, or more have been killed already. And you just look at the headlines here. Heavy Israel airstrikes pound Tehran. Israel military issues evacuation warning in Beirut's southern suburbs. Second Kuwaiti sailor killed while carrying out duties. And then you have this Israeli army issues evacuation warnings in Iran and Lebanon. And basically what follows is a list of cities to where I guess Israel's threatened to bomb everything, right? In a separate statement, Adri urged residents in the following southern Lebanese villages to evacuate their homes and move northward the marked areas, right? So these are all these cities. And we saw this before with Gaza, right? They would just say, hey, we're going to attack a city, evacuate, and then they would just level, whole neighborhoods, people's homes. It's terrible. And we already know a school's been hit. And then on the other side from Iran, now they're saying, and I don't condone any violence whatsoever. I just want to make sure that that's clear whenever we talk about this stuff. Iran commander threatens to set ships crossing Strait of Hormuz on fire. So now we're blocking the traffic of oil, which I completely understand. I get it, right? And I get what's going to happen from the USA. Well, now that we have 6 American soldiers died, so now we have to keep fighting because we have to avenge their deaths. It's going to be that way. And from the Iran side, well, you are bombing multiple our cities, and the other countries are getting drawn in. That's what I'm showing you. What Israel's saying. Here's a quote here. It says, an Iranian commander threatened Monday to attack any ship crossing the Strait of Hormuz in a move that could choke about a fifth of the global oil supplies and send oil prices soaring. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. If anyone tries to pass, the heroes of the Revolutionary Guards and the regular Navy will set those ships ablaze. I mean, that's where we're at right now. And
how long do you anticipate the conflict to last?
Well, we don't. Let me say 2 things about it. Number one, the president always has the options to undertake whatever operations he decides to do as the commander-in-chief. That said, we believe the objective that we have set for this mission, which is the destruction of their ballistic missile capabilities, both launch capability and manufacturing, can be achieved without ground forces. Right now, we're not postured for ground forces, but obviously the president has those options. He's never going to rule out anything. But right now, our focus is on the destruction of their ballistic missile launchers, their ballistic missile
you have to hear what he's saying, because they're not ruling out ground forces, so they're keeping their options open here. And if as they're talking about a regime change and stuff like that, that's probably what we're looking at here. So Congress needs to step in. I don't know why they haven't removed Trump from office already. That's my opinion on that stuff. And then I want to talk about the costs. This came out from Bloomberg today. Iran's missile math. $20,000 drones take on $4 million Patriots. Okay. And the basic gist of it is that Iran can produce a bunch of these things. I think they get them from Russia as well, as it was saying. And it's just that right there tells you everything you need to know. Like the cost wise, both sides are going to run out, to be frank with you guys, but it's costing USA in proportions a heck of a lot more money. I mean, it's like mind-blowingly. Iran was estimated to have about 2,000 ballistic missiles after last year's conflict with Israel. It's likely to have much larger number of Shahed, so that's these drone things, which Russia and other manufacturers have been able to produce at a rate of several hundred per day. Okay, and that's coming from Bloomberg. So several hundred per day they can make these things. Tehran has fired more than 1,200 projectiles since the start of this year's conflict, with many, perhaps most of them being Shaheds. That suggests that they could be saving more damaging ballistic missiles for sustained attacks. So if you just put the logic of this stuff, I guess in terms of just military, I guess you would fire all the cheap drones first, and then you would deplete the expensive American Patriots, and then you have the ballistic missiles, right? 1,200 of these things. So I'm just telling you guys, if the Americans are saying this is going to be easy, it's so fast, right? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fast. It's ugly. It costs money. It costs lives. And there's no good that can come from this stuff. I'm just being frank with you about these things. It's ugly. And bad. I just got to repeat, it's bad when they send Melania to the UN because we don't have anyone else. And that's what's going on. And I'll catch you all in the next video.